Hello, and welcome to today's episode. Today, we are exploring one of the most famous buildings in the world, Leaning Tower of Pisa. But did you know its fame is actually because of a mistake? Yes, a mistake. And that mistake made it immortal. We'll travel back in time, look at the incredible history, and discover how a simple error turned into a global legend. By the end, you might even see mistakes in a new light. The story begins in 1173 in the bustling city, Italy. Pisa was a wealthy maritime republic. Merchants traded across the Mediterranean, and the city wanted to show its power through grand architecture. The Leaning Tower was meant to be a bell tower for the nearby cathedral, part of a larger religious complex, De Piazza dei Miracoli. Its purpose was simple: to call people to prayer, mark time, and add beauty to the city skyline. But the builders quickly ran into trouble. Even before the first floor was finished, they noticed the tower was leaning. Why? The ground beneath it was too soft, made of clay, sand, and shells. It could not support the heavy marble structure. Despite this early warning, construction continued. Builders had no advanced engineering tools, relying on experience, intuition, and trial and error. Imagine them staring at the tilt, thinking, should we stop or keep building? They chose the latter, and that decision changed history. Construction of the tower took almost 200 years, finally finishing in 1372. Why so long? Several reasons. Wars between Italian city-states repeatedly halted progress. Funding ran out multiple times. Political upheaval meant priorities shifted. But ironically, these pauses may have saved the tower. Each break allowed the soft soil to settle and compact under the weight of the partially built tower. Without these interruptions, the tower might have toppled completely. By the time it was finished, the tilt was significant. People tried to fix it. They added heavy stones to the opposite side, dug trenches, and even tried to straighten it gradually. Nothing worked. The lean remained. And yet, the tower endured storms, earthquakes, and centuries of where it survived. And over time, people began to admire its crooked charm. In the 19th century, the Leaning Tower of Pisa became a tourist sensation. People traveled from all over Europe and, later, the world to see a tower that seemed to defy gravity. Why was it so fascinating? Not just the lean, but the story behind it. A building meant to be ordinary became extraordinary because of a mistake. Photographers, artists, and writers celebrated the tower. Travelers took photos pretending to hold it up with their hands. It became a symbol of human creativity, curiosity, and perseverance. Over the centuries, engineers attempted to stabilize the tower. In the late 20th century, experts feared it might collapse. They worked for decades, carefully removing soil, adding counterweights, and monitoring its tilt. Today, it is safe. Visitors can climb its spiraling stairs, still seeing the famous lean. Here are some fascinating facts you might not know. The tower has 8 stories, including the chamber for the bells. Its tilt is about 4 degrees, though in the past it reached more than 5 degrees. Galileo Galilei, the famous scientist, is said to have conducted experiments from the tower, dropping objects to study gravity. The tower has survived multiple earthquakes that destroyed nearby buildings. It's remarkable how a mistake became a testament to engineering, resilience, and history. Today, the Leaning Tower of Pisa is not just a tourist attraction. It is a symbol of art, architecture, and the human spirit. Engineers continue to monitor its tilt. The lean is now controlled, so visitors can safely enjoy climbing the tower. It reminds us that history isn't always perfect. Sometimes, what seems like an error becomes a masterpiece. So, what can we learn from the Leaning Tower of Pisa? Mistakes are not always failures. They can make us notice, inspire curiosity, and even create legends. Next time you see a leaning building, a crooked painting, or even a small personal mistake, remember, imperfection can create immortality. The Leaning Tower of Pisa teaches us patience, resilience, and the beauty of imperfection. And that's the story of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the mistake that made it immortal. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe. And remember, sometimes a little lean can change everything.